my spooky spookies. Welcome back to another episode of Disney Mom's Gone Wrong. How are we feeling, ladies? Who am I here with?
You're here with Susie, and I'm caffeinated. I had a protein shake for dinner, and I threw some cold brew in that, and now I am wide awake.
So instead of water, did you just use straight cold brew, or what?
You know, there's water in cold brew, Sarah. So,
Amen.
It's like a BOGO kind of a situation at Payless shoe
like
store.
I wasn't expecting that to come out of your mouth. I love that.
I'm so happy about this.
I'm caffeinated. I'm ready to go.
Well, you are more prepared than me, you guys. It's Diana here. I am caffeinated, but I'm like back to the point where like caffeine doesn't work. Like I need something stronger than the caffeine, not as strong as the cocaine, like somewhere in the middle.
Happy medium.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Just go.
Full. I'm so tired, and like I tried a Rockstar yesterday, and I didn't feel like it helped wake me up, but then like 3 hours later I really needed a nap and I crashed hard, and I was like, okay, that's not gonna work for me. And so I just am sticking with my Diet Coke, and it's just not doing me justice today.
I mean,
Diet Coke is a slippery slope. Let me tell you. Honestly, I went to Costco and I'm like, oh, Jonathan, let's just get like that ginormous pack of Diet Coke. We're like halfway done with it. We just bought it like 2 days ago. And I'm like,
no, 100.
What happened? I blacked out.
It's terrible. Literally, Diet Coke is my weakness. I can't not have it. I can't not have it. I'm addicted. I'm like an alcoholic, but it's not alcohol. It's Diet Coke. Like that's who I am.
I'm gonna be honest, friends. I don't do the Diet Coke. Like I don't.
I like regular Pepsi and Diet Coke, and I could drink those nonstop. Like they have water in them, so I don't have to worry about incorporating water into my diet because it's in the ingredients.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's like the first ingredient too, right?
I don't know. Let me see.
It's probably like 15 down, but it's fine.
Carbonated water.
Oh,
number one.
That works.
Basically,
I do like the A&W Zeros because that's the only like diet one I can drink that doesn't taste like diet.
I'm not a root beer fan.
Oh, wow. That's a hot take.
I never have been, ever.
What about like a root beer float?
No. Coke float.
Wow.
Coke floats are bomb. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel shook. I don't know how to recover from this.
Here, I'll help you recover. Buster has been listening to our podcast, and he learned how to do it from his iPhone. And he was like, "You guys always say save Sarah." And then I like explained it to him, and then later on he was like, "Mom, did you see?" And I'm like, "No." And I looked, and Buster reviewed us with the hashtag save Sarah.
Oh,
yes.
That does recover. Actually, tying into this podcast, so we are reviewing Hocus Pocus 2. And before we get into that, we had a beautiful, phenomenal, crazy, chaotic Hocus Pocus 2 watch party at Miss Beautiful Diana's house.
Yes, we did.
And as we're sitting there, so there's like a plethora of children, like literally, I think we had like over a football team of children at
100%.
Diana's house. So she's a saint for even hosting that. But at one point, the kids were all sitting on the stairs and I heard Chesney say something, and I don't know which child it was. A child responded back like, "Who's Sarah?" or whatever. And Chesney's like, "You don't know who Sarah is? She's on the Disney Mom's Gone Wrong podcast. She's funny." And I was like, my heart like fluttered, like, all right, like in that moment, Chesney, I became her number one fan.
Let me tell you that she freaking loves you so much. It's so cute because she's like, Sarah's like the loudest and she's really funny. And like, you're funny too, Mom. And like, you're loud, but like Susie's like funny, but she's like the quiet one. And I'm like, she be getting loud too sometimes. Okay, Chesney? And I'm your mom.
Oh, wow.
The first time she told me that you were her favorite, she was like, "Mom, do you know who my favorite is on the podcast? And I was ready. I was like, yeah, who's your favorite, Chesney? She was like, Sarah. And I was like, you? Are you kidding me right now? Like, I got you a job on this podcast. Like, I got you your spot. How are you about to do me like this?
I foresee great things for her. Like,
I do too.
That is leadership qualities right there.
She's going to be a leader, and she's going to be like a very motivational speaker. And I think she'll motivate women, but I think in general, like, listen, everywhere we go, she's like just stopping and telling people like, I love your makeup. I love your hair. Like, people she doesn't know, and they're just like, oh my God, she just made my day. And she made me feel hella old the other day because we were at Quick Quack. And she's always like, can I roll my window down? Like, in drive-thrus, she'll roll the window down and then, like, tell the people at the door, like, hi, have a good day. Like, you know, thank you for my food. Like, she's just so sweet. So we're at Quick Quack. He's checking my car in because I have a subscription. She rolls down her window, and she's like, you have a one-of-a-kind name. Like, your name is so unique to this guy. And I'm thinking, like, that's so sweet. And then I look at his name tag, and I instantly felt old because his name was Usher. And so all I could do was USHERRAYMOND. And I'm like, that is not unique. That is Usher. Like, I mean, it is unique, but, like, you know what I mean? Like in that moment, I realized she didn't know who Usher was. And I was like, oh wow.
That's
that employee was probably born in like 2002.
Yeah, I don't know that he knew who Usher was either, really, because he was like, thank you so much. And I was like,
but his parents knew where Usher's because they probably got down.
That's how they made
Usher
him.
Jam.
Mm-hmm. That's how they made him. She liked it.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. I do any and everything you want to.
She's just so great. And so, but when she did that, I like instantly I felt aged. Like, oh, she doesn't know who Usher is. Like,
wow. We need that. That's hashtag Chesney energy.
Oh yeah,
that's what the world needs more of.
I love that hashtag.
100%. I always say that.
Chesney energy.
I always say the world needs more Chesneys, but Chesney energy is going to be my new thing.
Oh my God. That. I'm going to get like a giant CE tattooed on me right here.
I have Chesney somewhere.
Oh,
Chesney.
I'm behind the curve. Oh,
hello.
So anyways, let's jump into this. Let's break it down. So we watched and we are reviewing Hocus Pocus 2.
Yes.
All right, ladies. What do we think? Let's break it down.
Okay, so I absolutely love this movie. I know you girls might have something different to say, but I believe that this movie passed the torch of like the Covenant sisters so beautifully. And it wasn't until I watched it like 2.5 times that I truly realized it. Because like one of the things that I learned is that not all 3 of the sisters are witches. Only one of them is. The other 2 are not witches. And the new witches that we have, again, only one of them is a witch. The other 2 are not. They're just part of the Covenant. So, like, the magic is shared with them. So without it, they're nothing, really. They're not witches. I love how they gave the Book of the Devil or something, like the skin-looking book. They gave that book its own, like, character and, like, personality, really. And honestly, I liked how they directed the movie in the sense of like how they modernized it. There was cues where they kind of broke, like, I don't want to say character, but there's like moments where like the girls were in the woods and they first meet the Sanderson sisters and they're like, oh, we're not teens, we're 40 actually. And then there was like a moment of like break in the movie, and the girls and the Sanderson sisters started like acting like, oh really, wow, like what do you do, you know? So it was kind of like it gave it like a refreshing moment within the movie. Again though, it took me 2.5 times to realize this. Though there were moments that I didn't like it. There's scenes that I was just like, that could have been done differently. I did not care for the music though. Like, just not a fan of the music for this movie.
Go, Diana. Go.
Hot take. It was not my favorite movie. Now, I did not dislike it. I do agree with you that they did do like well of the switching of like the torch, and then they can continue Hocus Pocus 1700 if they want, because now they have 3 new witches who are in their teens, so they have 650 more years to live. So I think they did that. They did do that well. They did do that well. I agree. Here's what I can associate it with, is that I feel like they took a movie that was serious with comical entities and they made it a comedy.
Ooh,
I felt like this movie was much more funny than it was serious. There was no spots where you're like, ooh, what's going to happen next? You could always tell what was going to happen next. Mm-hmm. I feel like they remade Hocus Pocus 2 the same way they remade Fuller House. It's aged at our generation because it was our movie. But it's almost too aimed to where they're just directly like doing things. Almost you feel like it's to you. And you're like, no, you're being corny now. Like, I want to see the Sanderson sisters in business. I would have much preferred it if the storyline was an actual movie that followed Danny or involved a little bit more other than just like the bits and pieces they throw in to connect the movies. Maybe it was a little more that way. I understood what they did with the storyline. It just wasn't my... I watched Fuller House one time because Full House was my favorite show growing up. I'll never binge it again. It wasn't... I'll binge watch Full House with my kids, but I won't binge Fuller House again. And for me, that's Hocus Pocus 2. I'll watch it again, but it's not going to be on my like October 1st list. Hocus Pocus will always be on my October 1st list.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with... I like the movie, and I think it was beautifully done, like I said. But I don't think it would be on my list of spooky movies to watch every year. It's a very,
I'm going to say...
list.
This movie was absolute trash. It needs to go into the trash. It needs... No. First of all, there's like 87 underdeveloped plot lines here. Like, they couldn't pick what they wanted to do because we have lost originality here. Like, even if, they didn't want to continue off the first, right? Like, we're trying to rebrand it, re-aim it at a new generation. There's still, was not a clear, one solid plot line. We want to take it back to when they became witches, all cool and dandy, but they didn't fully develop that.
That's why
honestly, you could have done without that.
And it would have made more sense to have that in the first movie when you meet the witches, so you understand their agenda. So now in a second movie, we're trying to explain their agenda, but we thought we knew their agenda from the first movie. That was fantastic. So don't change their agenda.
And I'm so tired. I am tired. I'm going to sound like a boomer or something here.
Boomer.
These modern age Disney movies trying to water down our villains. Winifred Sanderson. She is a baddie amongst a baddie. But then you turned, Disney. I'm a get on a soapbox here. And you watered her down. She loved her sisters, yes. And, obviously she was the king hen of her sisters, whatever. I don't even think king hen... I don't know. That's a foreign term, apparently.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. But in the first one, she made fun of Thackeray for, giving himself up for his sister. And she was like, what a weak-ass bitch. He gave himself up for his sister. Then... fast forward, and she goes and does the same thing. No. My baddie Winnie from the first one, she would have said, I'm sorry, sisters, kick rocks. I'm going to look like I'm 22 and suck some more kid souls.
Hell yeah, she would have.
I want my villains to remain a villain.
I think, though, this is my theory, right? In the first movie, and even in the second movie, you could see how Winifred really depended on her sisters for multiple things, right? So Sarah, the witch, her role, her job amongst the covenant was to call for the children, right? Winifred never called for the children. How was she supposed to eat supper if Sarah didn't call for her kids so that she can devour, right, and stay young and you know? And then you have Mary, that was the one that would always comfort her and always say, well, let's do a calming circle. Like, you're getting too worked up. So she literally had to depend on her sisters to be a witch. I think it was a different relationship in the
Did
first.
Did she have to depend on them? Or was she a good leader and she delegated responsibilities?
I think she depended on them. Because even in the first, like in Hocus Pocus 2, at the beginning, where Winifred's like rushing through her little town, the little 16-year-old Winifred, right? She's like, right? She's all mad. And she gets to her house and her sisters are trying to throw her a little birthday party or something like that. And her sisters can read her vibes and they're like, oh, she's upset. Like, we have to do something to make her happy. I don't. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. I think.
Tell me you're a mom without telling me you're a mom.
Oh, no, not mid-podcast.
Not in the podcast.
I really think, though, that she needed her sisters to calm her down in that moment. She really needed her sisters to keep her spirits up. That's why when the reverend or the priest or whatever of that town, like, banned her, but decided to keep the two sisters, she, like, lost her shit. She was like, no, not my sister, you know, and that's when, like, the whole spider thing, which is, like, another weird thing. The spiders were, like, a devil thing? I don't know. I don't like spiders to begin with. But anyways, how they ran into the woods afterwards, I really think that was a key moment on explaining to to the, you know, viewers or whatever, how the powers transferred over to them, or to Winifred, really. Because even like that all-powerful witch, I don't know what her character's name was, like, told her, like, you can use whatever spell you want in this book, but you can't, like, don't use, was it Witchica, whatever, something, the one that gives you, like, gives you all the power, because, you know, I said so. That's what she said in the movie. And you could tell that made her emotional. It made that witch emotional to say, like, just don't do it. And she knew why, because she probably went through the same thing. So I just don't think Winifred was strong enough, regardless of what Hocus Pocus movie she was in, to do that.
I don't know. I think I agree with Sarah. I think they humanize her too much, and it takes away from, like, the dark, fun part of a Halloween spooky movie. Like I said, I just feel like they made Hocus Pocus 2 a lot funner. Even when, like, the boys running from her in the beginning, even that whole scene was absolutely corny to me. Like it just, I don't know. I like I said, it's a Hocus Pocus 2. It's the original Sandersons that came back, the Sanders sisters that came back. I'm really happy that the Sandersons came back, that it was the same actors and they did not, like, try to put some new young guns in there. But I feel like they took away the spookiness of Hocus Pocus, making it more lighthearted. And they've talked about, all three of the Sanderson sisters have made comments about, like, when asked about a third and having, like, a trilogy or a franchise, all three of them have said, like, never say never. And Sarah Jessica Parker was like, well, I would do it if the other girls would do it. And I feel like, I love y'all, but maybe let's stop at 2. Let's just not.
Maybe let's stop at
not
1.
Push for yeah.
We should have never, guys. But I will say the casting of the baby Sandersons was so spot on.
Oh, I agree.
Like, whoever played Baby Winnie, like, nailed it. Even the other two sisters, they did so good at really displaying those mannerisms and, like, totally mirroring the older Sanderson sisters. So I will, like, completely give it up to them there. But again, it's like, you know, the girl, I just think, like, the underdeveloped plot, like, that's all Hocus Pocus 2 to me was multiple underdeveloped plots. Like, I don't even know her name. I deleted it out of my mind. But the new 16-year-old getting powers and
Becca?
Damn, what was her name? Natalie?
Becky.
Becky? Shit.
But, like,
Becky with the good hair?
Yeah, Becky. But, like,
Becca.
where her powers come from. Like, she just gonna go whippity whoppity boom, like they came out of nowhere.
That's what happened to Winifred.
Yeah, but you expect that because it's 16th century. She's in Salem. Like I didn't need that plot anywhere there.
100%.
The one person that I did not like at all in this movie was Gilbert.
Which one is he?
That's not who I thought you were gonna say.
He was the shop owner.
The one that gave him the candle to make them light it.
Yes. Do you guys remember?
I think I didn't like his acting. Or maybe I didn't like the way I understood his storyline, but they made it too goofy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that was another reason why I didn't like him. But I feel like Disney used him as like the bridge to connect Hocus Pocus 1 and Hocus Pocus 2, because reality is Hocus Pocus 1, the Sanderson sisters, they weren't supposed to come back. There was no more candle to be lit, right? Because the sun came up, the sun yeah, right?
This is why you don't make your protein shakes with cold brew, kids.
Supposedly Gilbert was in Hocus Pocus 1. I'm like, the fuck you were? I'm like, I don't remember seeing you.
Me neither. Can we, while we're talking about him, can we talk about how Disney always throws in like a little bit of inappropriate for us? And when the girls are like, why couldn't you light the candle? And he's like, well,
yeah.
Like, I'll let you decide. And that did make me laugh a little bit.
But like,
yeah,
in my head, I was
but
also
it was
like,
Gilbert,
I think you are a virgin. Like, look at you. You run a magic shop, kid.
It was also awkward because, like, he's clearly an adult and these are clearly teenagers. Like, so then when you put yourself in the position, like, if my kid was at the store and was like, why couldn't you do this? And they were like, well, you know, a little bit of experience. I would be like, who are you talking to? My kid's like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, although I, like, appreciated, like, the little innuendo for, like, you know, the adults to understand the comment, but when you put it in the aspect of, like, he's a male adult talking to teenage girls, I was like,
he was on Megan's Law right there, just with that law.
I need your address so that I can report it to Megan's Law because you're working with children and you shouldn't be.
Red dot on his house.
Yeah, 100%. I put a sign in his front yard.
So I didn't like him because, like, he told the girls, like, you know, I made you this black candle, you know, nothing has to look perfect kind of thing. And then he kind of confessed later in the movie after they lit the candle on why he made that candle. And he purposely made a black candle to bring back the Sanderson sisters because they were misunderstood. That was the reasoning to making a black candle. And I'm like, that is weak as fuck.
Underdeveloped plot lines.
100%. So like, stupid. So stupid.
You know,
that whole scene of him, like, trying to get them to it's your birthday. That whole scene was just fucking creepy to me.
Yeah, he was like giving creep-ass vibes.
Like Chomo. Like, they could have done that plot so much better and more appropriate. And, like, maybe he looks more like Halloweenish and then it's done in a spooky something or other. But, like, that whole scene to me was, like, I would not be comfortable with my teenage daughter hanging out in a shop with some guy who was like, it's your birthday. Take this candle. It's on the house. I made it for you. Do you see anything else you like? Get the fuck out of here, you creepy ass MF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Okay, I want to kind of pivot a little bit, though, because I'm so passionate, apparently, about this movie, and I'm really caffeinated.
Yeah, I'm loving... From here on out, you have to have a cold brew protein shake before every recording.
I'm rocking and rolling. The one actor that I absolutely loved in this, I mean, besides the Sanderson sisters, right? Because they're a classic. You can't touch that.
Yeah.
Or how do they call themselves? The originals in the movie.
Yeah.
The mayor of this movie, Tony Hale.
I love him.
I lost my shit when I saw him at your house at the premiere. I was like, oh my gosh, you're from Veep.
I love Tony Hale. I know him from Veep. Chef's kiss. He is so good.
I never watched Veep. What's Veep?
You need to. It's like Office, but I would say...
I don't like The Office.
No,
Oh.
it's Office, but I feel like it's not as dry humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it
There's a
is
lot of
about
cursing.
Yeah, and it's
I do
hella
like cursing.
funny.
I do like cursing.
Like,
I don't know if you guys know that.
it's on HBO, so you're like
okay.
more raunchier than.
And I love I love my raunchy HBO shows. House of
Yes.
Dragons, Game of Thrones.
Yes,
Give
you
me
need
the
to watch
nasty,
Veep.
it's fine.
It's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's Tony Hale, and then that really tall guy who's in like random ass shit, but he makes me laugh. What's his? I don't know his name. I bet you though, Frankie will do a little picture. The boss will do a picture. You know,
Plays guy here.
this guy here, Sarah, get a fucking name right for once.
Oh my God, Paul was listening to our last podcast. He's like, you guys murdered this name. And I was like, well, if you listen to our like first and second podcast, we stated we were going to do that.
Yeah.
So we put out a disclaimer. It's fine.
You know what? Names are all relative, right?
We were complimenting him. It's not like we butchered his name and said he was shitty at his job. Like,
Yeah,
fine.
it's not like we're calling it Hocus Pocus and we're then saying it's shitty. No, we're saying it's Hocus Pocus. We put some respect on the name.
And it's
shitty. Yeah. So it's kind of like...
Susie's just up there like disappointed in us right now. She's like, these bitches. Like,
Timothy Simmons, Jonah Ryan from Veep.
Yes.
Diana, just watch a few episodes. You'll love it.
I wrote it down. I was like, note to self, Veep.
It's
Veep it up. It's hilarious. Yeah.
I really like his acting, though. I don't like how they played his character in this movie, because he was just, I mean, he's the mayor of the town, right? He's supposed to be like the sophisticated, like politician kind of guy, right? And he's just like, la 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 la, where's
He's
my
stupid.
caramel apple? Where's
Yeah.
my
Correct.
caramel
It's just-
apple? And I'm
they
like,
made they made it so dry humor stupid.
yeah.
It was kitschy and like campy, and it was just, there was nothing good about, like, I deleted Hocus Pocus too. It's
I canceled
official.
it. Is that still a thing? Do we cancel things?
Oh, we cancel everything. Yes.
Okay, because I canceled Hocus Pocus too.
I'm pretty sure we're probably canceled somewhere.
Again, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't it. I loved the first one so much, and they went in a total different direction with 2. And I didn't like that. I wanted Hocus Pocus 1 again with a storyline with like Danny or this, something. So I didn't like it.
There's no originality in that. You know what I mean? And you'd be like,
I
I
don't
already watched
care.
this.
Yeah, but
Oh,
there's
wow.
nostalgia. There's nostalgia in that.
Susie's ready to throw hands, and I love it. See, I'm
love
okay.
it.
No, I'm okay with. Say they continued, or like they took the same one of the 17 plots that are in this movie. They just picked one, but I do think it's the lack of spookiness. Like
that
it's
is
the
it for
lack.
me.
It's the comedy. I don't even necessarily care about the storyline or the 87 that there are, but like if you would just first develop one and then also like stop trying to go so like jokey about it. It's spooky. Like the spookiest thing were those spiders.
Okay, so that was actually on purpose. The
I'm sure it was.
director-
Yeah, it
because
was
he's
just
trash.
The
Yeah, it was
director
just
and the
stupid.
team, there's a lot of differences between Hocus Pocus 1 and Hocus Pocus 2. Some of the differences that I can think of off the top of my head is the fact that in Hocus Pocus 2 you don't see a lot of like Halloween-ish decorations. And it's because they wanted to give it that modern feel, right? Like on Halloween
That's
night,
dumb.
you step outside, it's not pumpkins and ghosts and goblins everywhere.
Yes, it is. I got a house full of inflatables in my
Yeah.
yard right now. We're fucking
Bet.
ready.
Bet. I'm with Diane. You guys just saw my house. Like, we have the Harry Potter lights coming from the ceiling. Like,
I literally
Outside.
had one of my one of the employees at my school go, "Are you that house on C Street with all the blow-ups during Christmas? Because I thought I saw you like walking on that driveway." And I go, "Oh yeah, that's me." She goes, "You have the best house on this side of Galt. Like your house is so lit up." I go, "Oh girl, we got Halloween up." She goes, "I'll be by later." Like, we don't mess around. We got ghosts flying up and stuff. And
Okay. Well, the other thing that was kind of the differences was the act of using magic in Hocus Pocus 1 was not as much seen as Hocus Pocus 2. Hocus Pocus 1 focused more on like the potions and the spells and
the fun stuff.
But in Hocus Pocus 2, you actually saw like the magic.
But they made like the
orbs
magic a
coming
joke.
out of people's hand. Yeah,
They made it all a joke. The best magic they did the entire movie was when she enchanted the Roombas.
yeah.
Like,
But like, I wish because that was like something that would have been super unexpected had that not been in the preview.
yeah.
Had that not been on the poster, because then when I did see it, I didn't laugh as much. I knew it was coming. I'm like, get up on your room, booze, girl. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I realized, in the part that I liked that I didn't realize in the previews is that they were like little monsters. I thought she was just flying
that
on
part,
some
yeah,
Roombas, and I was like, oh, okay. So then when I saw they were like little monsters that like followed her, I was like, that shit's funny. I like that. That I can get down with.
yeah, I just, there is no spooky, and I think,
I like spooky. Like, that's why for me, it's not on my list of Halloween movies I have to watch.
Yeah.
no.
And I'm
But
not,
you
and
know
I'm
what?
not disagreeing.
Do you
I
know why
agree with you
Susie
guys.
loves this movie? Because Susie doesn't do horror and scary.
That's true.
So this is Susie's Halloween Town-ish, which I like Halloween Town, but it falls in the category of movies you like, where I'm like, give me the scary shit.
Yeah, I need
That's
blood.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not-
I wonder
Not
if
from
that... Yeah.
That actually is true. I didn't even think about that, but you're so right. But
So like that kind of leads into a question that I have for you girls, because you know we try to do questions on this podcast about
Let's do it.
relevance. So in Hocus Pocus 2, we see a lot of use of magic, right? What kind of magic trick would you say that you use on your baby to make them stay asleep at night? Like, I'll go first. With Marco, we have a routine, right? It's bath, bottle, bed. Well, now we're switching to bath, book, bed. But every night after he gets out of the bath, I give him a full body massage with lotion. And it's like the lavender scented. Like, I massage everything from like his head down to his toes, and I put on his jammies, and then we read a book, and then we go to bed.
dude, his wife's gonna have a hard time with that.
Really fucking is. They're going to have a lot of lotion.
We do. But, you know,
She's
feel
like, and then
that-
when Marco goes to bed, Jonathan's next.
No.
That's why she has
That's
to
a
have a
no.
cold brew protein shake so late. She
got a late
out here
night.
whipping out my I'll be
I
back
know.
for my 9:30 soon. Like,
I give him like I told him massage. So like when he was teething, I would like massage his like face right above like his gums, and he would like even perk up his little face so I could like massage underneath his chin.
Aw.
I could tell he loves it, and so I've done it ever since he was born, and it's like a freaking magic trick. I know he will go to sleep after I do that. What do you guys do?
Not that. Damn. Like, I'm just thinking, how do you get him to like sit for that? Because he's
laying
mobile.
down.
He's walking. Yeah.
He
like,
lays
how?
down. He lays
Oh.
Likes
down.
it.
Yeah.
Put the cucumbers on his eyes and everything. Like,
I turn on the Disney sleep station on Spotify.
Oh,
Turn on
wow.
his humidifier. I dim the lights, and I give him a full body massage. Yeah.
She really has him at a parlor. I swear. She probably have a little massage bed his size with a little hole for the face.
yes. Like, I
Oh my
bet you she
gosh.
goes,
I'm in love
all
with
right,
this.
Mr. Lawrence. And like speaking to him in like very whispery
you-
tones.
At what pressure would you like your massage today? Are there any areas you'd like me to focus on?
Well, they're little humans, right, to begin with, and they're constantly growing. So I read that by giving them a massage, it helps like stimulate their body to grow and to relax. And so, like, I don't know. I've done it ever since he
I
was
will
born.
say I do
Susie-
lotion huck after a bath. a lavender Aveeno baby lotion.
Yes.
I definitely lotion him after a bath. If it happens to be a bath before bed, it does kind of fall into the routine of nighttime. Because if it's going to be a late bath, I do make it to where it's like bath, bottle, bed. But like, this isn't an everyday, like, Huck don't bathe every day. Like, what the hell? I'm lucky if I get to bathe every day. Like,
that's a different story. I don't,
Yeah, I was going to say, guys.
I'm like, Chesney, can you sit in this bathtub with your baby brother while I take a shower right here where I can see you guys so I can get a shower in?
That's so true.
I mean, literally.
With Sophia, she's very easy to put to bed. Like, she change her, sleep sack, rock, book. Like, I mean, and that's happening simultaneously, like rocking her, reading the book, kissing her, like almost like words of affirmation, like telling her I love her, everything, and then sleep. There's sleep sounds on too, and then put her in her crib and she puts herself to sleep. So like that's with Sophia. With Kyrie, maybe I should be trying this love down, rub down thing because like
rub down.
She takes forever. Like, first, I don't know, this is a bad habit her daddy got her into, but, like, she wants to watch, like, a TikTok video or two of animals, and she goes, animals? And so she'll literally, like, lay in bed with her milk, and animals? And as she's drinking her milk, I ask her what animal, so, you know, preference first. Lately, it's been bunnies and ponies. Okay. And we watch, like, 2 videos, dim the lights, sound machine, book, and then hopefully pray to God she goes to sleep within 45 minutes.
You gotta do the full body massage.
But then she won't sit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe what do you do when they just get up and their ass is in your face because they don't want to lay down?
So maybe I shouldn't tell you guys that, you know, sometimes when he's extra cranky, I put, like, Epsom salt in his bath so he can, like, really just, like, soak when he's giving a bath.
No, I do the bath bombs. I do, the sleepy time bath bombs.
Yeah.
Is this a only child problem?
Yes.
Hashtag only child problem?
So, with Buster, there was no magic trick. He was a really, really hard baby, and it was like, I mean, there were nights I felt like I was, like, balancing on one foot while trying to, like, hold him at this angle. Like, people would be like, oh, he just doesn't know his night from the day. Put him on his tummy and rotate him in a circle in, like, some form of witchcraft. Nothing goddamn worked with that kid. You guys are laughing. This is serious shit. Nothing worked. I would sleep, like, maybe 2 hours a night. Like, the magic trick was don't fucking sleep. That way he'll sleep if you're holding him. The magic trick was call your mom or your sister crying at 2 a.m. that you haven't slept in 36 hours and you can't take it anymore. And then they come take your baby who's been crying for 2 days and he shuts the hell up because it's not you. That was the magic trick with Buster. It was call my sister, call my mom.
Other people. Got it.
Poor Chesney. Yeah. She was such a good baby, but I couldn't really give you a great routine with her because she had to be a good baby because Buster was still hard when I had her.
Oh.
She was like survival skills.
More. I can remember the older years more, like 2, 3. But I don't remember a lot of the infant year. I mean, like, there was the nursing. That girl would sleep for 23 hours a day if I let her. Like, she was a sleeper, so it was never hard. Huck. This baby. The magic trick is, for us with Huck, is knowing when it's too late to nap and doing everything we can to stay on his routine. Huck wakes up around 7, sometimes 6:30. Huck takes a nap at 10:30 to 11. His naps range from 1 to 3 hours, and it doesn't matter. We let him have it. Then at 8:30, we warm up a 5-ounce bottle of milk. We take him in his room. I go, oh, do you want to say night-night to your Mimi? He has a Mickey Mouse from Disneyland. It sleeps in his bed with him because it's the Mickey Mouse that's in pajamas and slippers and he's sleeping. Oh. So we pick up night-night Mimi is what we call it. We give him a kiss. We do a group hug. I lay Mimi down. I go, oh, are you going to go night-night? I lay Huck down. I give him his bottle and I go, night-night, Huck. And I walk out of the room, lights off, no sounds, shut the door. He has a bottle. He goes to bed.
Damn.
So, like, I'm just very lucky. The problem is, if he doesn't nap and he's tired at 6, you got to keep the kid up till 7:30 or 8.
Oh, yeah.
Because he'll sleep for an hour and a half at 6 and then not want to go to bed till 10. But that doesn't happen, like, very often. The only other time is, like, if he doesn't feel well. But he's a very scheduled baby with sleep. Like, we could tell you when he's going to wake up, when he's going to nap, when he's going to go to bed, when he's going to poop. Like, he's very scheduled. And it, goddamn, makes life so easy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Marco's a very, I think he will be a type A personality like me, because he knows when nap time is and when bedtime is, and especially bedtime, because...
Well, especially after his... 30-minute massage. I'm down.
Right. I know it's bedtime after a massage, and it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. So,
well, the massage is after the bath. So it's
okay.
Yeah. So we soak in the Epsom salt first for about 20 minutes or so, and then we get the full body massage for about 10, 15
Susie,
minutes.
I want you to know, like, you have just won Mom of the Year. Like,
I just want her to be my mom. Like, is it too late?
You are phenomenal.
Is it too late in life to, like, adopt a mom that will come put you to sleep every night?
Maybe I secretly do it because I want to have a massage like that.
So you're projecting?
That's a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I need a full body massage.
I think your magic trick sounds the best, but also, like, the most tiring. I feel like by the time you get him to bed, like, you have to be tired.
Oh, I'm tired as fuck all the time. That's why I
All
have
the
cold brew at like 8:00 on a Friday.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Well,
so I'm in shock. Like, I love that, Susie. I love that you do that because I think that's so beautiful, and I'm jealous. And like I mean, I know we don't compare motherhood, but like totally comparing right now, she's a kick-ass mom.
thanks.
Right. So like Academy Award goes to her for like being best mom. For movie choices, she's not getting that Academy Award
Not at
right
all.
now. No, sorry.
After she gave us... Huh?
They said it's all about breaking those generational traumas, right?
I love it. After she told us...
Maybe that's why Winifred... Little Winnie was like, you know what? Now I'm going to save my sisters because generational trauma apparently equates to being a weak-ass bitch in the sequel.
I'm dead. After she said her magic trick, I was like, so I can't tell her that I just put my baby in the crib and tell him, like, go the fuck to sleep? Like,
Marco would be like, the fuck did you just say?
Huck could be like, no, night.
No.
I'd be like, all right, here's your bottle. Here's a kiss. I'm sorry. Go to bed.
Oh my gosh. So, Hocus Pocus 2. Here's another question. If you guys could have any magic, like, your magic trick is to do one thing, but it cannot be to have a clean house. And it cannot be, yeah, I know. That was a hard one to say. For infinite money, either. So, if
and you can't bring anyone back from the dead? This is sounding familiar.
Oh, that's true. Fuck. Damn it! Save it for the Aladdin podcast. It's not a witch. It's a trick.
Okay, what if we say it like a spell? Like if you had one spell, right?
Yeah. A spell. But you can't have a clean house.
Okay.
Honestly, I think mine would be the ability to stop time.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
You ever have those days where you just feel like everything's going and going and going and going and going, and you're just like, I just want to be able to stop for 1 minute. And then when you do stop for literally 60 seconds, shit blows up, and then you're behind an hour because you stopped for 60 seconds. Or like,
yes.
Or like, you're ever somewhere where you finally feel like that sense of relaxation, but your time is so limited because the next thing's gonna start. I think the ability to stop time, to be able to stop time and watch my baby sleep in his crib, the ability to stop time when I'm in a bathtub and I need 5 more minutes because I am so overwhelmed, or the ability to stop time when life is getting away. Like, I think I would go with the ability to stop time and recompose and enjoy those little pieces of magic.
Yeah.
I I will say today I would have, like, I totally would have used that. Like, and I gave you guys, like, a forefront of my past 2 days, but, like, there was a moment today where Kyrie, she's not feeling well, and we were, for some reason, like, she was just at a point where she just wanted to be held. And she, like, but, you know, I had work to do and I had so much to do. But there was just this point where she, like, I was holding her and she, like, wrapped her arms around me and she, like, squeezed me. And I died in that moment. Because it was, like, as crazy and as chaotic as today was, or, like, how I feel overwhelmed, overtouched, overstimulated, like, all of the overs. It was that moment where I just, like, I could have cried because it was like, that shit doesn't matter. Like, all of that overs, it's like, this is what I'm doing it for. And, like, just to have her squeeze me back, I don't know, maybe she was choking me. I don't know, jury's still out. But
it was what? It's so crazy how kids have the ability to ground us, right? Like,
yes.
I can't tell you how many times Marco has done that to me. And it's like, you're such a tiny little, human that doesn't understand what emotions are. I'm a grown-ass person, still doesn't understand what emotions are. And yet when I'm
generational trauma.
When I'm overwhelmed and I'm just stressed out to the max, you come and you just kind of like hug me, or you give me that look, or you come up and you unpromptedly give me a kiss. And it's just like, oh, I'm okay
you
now.
Guys, Huck started saying, I love you this week.
Oh.
You're done. Be still my heart.
You're done.
It has been such a long week. Like, everything with my hernia on Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
And Monday and Tuesday were long days of, like, just trying really to not... I couldn't lift him for 2 days. So, like, I still really only started lifting him, like, today. And so, like, just not being able to, like, hold him around the house. And, like, that's hard for him because he loves me. Like, and he doesn't have me hold him a lot. But I do throughout the day, like, randomly pick him up. So I would, like, play with his hands to get him to the couch. And then I would pick him up, But it was, like, those moments that, like, he really needed me. And then I would sit down and grab him. And he would just, like, I love you. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I just don't want to have to do anything else. I just want to sit here all day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at Diana getting her magic in our fills.
My little baby.
I was going to go with something shitty, but go ahead.
I know. It makes my answer sound hella shallow.
Do it.
It makes my answer sound hella shallow. I wish I could, like, have the power or, like, the spell to be just, like, a naturally good cook. Now, let me just kind of back up a little bit. Let me just back up. I grew up with a mom that did not cook in the house. She cooked very, like, basic stuff, like rice, beans. We ate a lot of gallo pinto growing up and cheese. Every once in a while, she'd do some French toast in the morning if she didn't have to work or whatever. But, like, a lot of times our meals came from, like, dollar menu, and that was my reality. So what did that lead to in my adult life was that I didn't know how to fucking fry an egg. Like... That was my truth. And if it wasn't for my mother YouTube, I wouldn't know how to cook. Like, I literally, and the thing is, like, being Hispanic, there is so much that food is involved within our culture, right? Like, I think it's like a lot of that in a lot of different cultures, right? And it's just like basic stuff, like during the holidays, learning how to make tamales, learning how to make pozole or menudo, or just simple, like, guisados. Like, I didn't know how to do any of that. And if it wasn't for YouTube, I still wouldn't know how to do any of that. So I wish I just, like, naturally knew how to cook at, like, a señora level. You know what I mean? Like, just, like, whatever. Toss it in the pan. It's going to taste delicious anyways.
Right.
I didn't even know there was levels like that. So I feel like we need a breakdown. Like, I'm probably levels. At, like, mija. Or maybe pendejo. I don't know.
Pendejo.
I'm trying to, like, in my little brain Rolodex right now, pulling out all the Spanish words.
I'm so dead.
Uno. I don't know. It's so funny that you say that, Susie, because that is literally mine. And it's not even like, I don't even want to be a good cook, but I want to say a spell and I want whatever like bomb ass ingredients. I just want it to come together. Because like some days, like I really don't just have time to cook or like really put the love and thought into food. And I enjoy cooking. I enjoy hosting. I enjoy like everything that encompasses that. But at the same time, it's very time consuming. Like half the time I forget to take the damn meat out. And then I'm like, but now we got to eat Taco Bell again, which I'm not opposed to. And I do that intentionally some nights, but like,
I love their crunchy tacos. I that's what I ate a lot of.
I do too.
I
love
it all
baking.
up.
I love baking, and I don't do it anymore because it's just it doesn't like fill my heart as much anymore because I can't do it from scratch uninterrupted. I can't do it from scratch like without having to like spend a full day because I have one kid on my leg and this kid wants to help and this kid wants to help. And I love baking with my kids, but like when it's something you really love, sometimes you just want to be able to enjoy it and like try something new for yourself and to feed your happy.
Yes.
And I think that is where like for me, like I would love to be able to stop time and then bake, then clean the kitchen so that I could dirty it.
Yes.
Like I used to bake and I would measure everything out like I was like on a cooking show. So I would have like my knife.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, like I would have like my glass bowl with like my pinch of salt and my other glass bowl with my third a cup of brown sugar and then my other glass bowl with my eggs already cracked. And I would have everything out and everything else would be clean. Like I would have cleaned up everything else I used, like the measuring cups were cleaned. Everything was cleaned except for those ingredients and my pan. I would preheat my oven while I threw all my stuff together, baked it all up. While it was in the oven, I would clean my dishes. Like my kitchen would be clean afterwards. And I can't bake now because I can't even keep that cleanliness as I go. Like there's no way. Because when I would normally clean, I'm getting pulled to do something else. And it's just a lot. Like I wish I could just stop time and enjoy the little things that, you know, that we take for granted. And I feel like that's what it was. Like I used to take for granted how, like, baking. I could do it all the time. And now that I can't do it, I'm like, I just want to bake something from scratch. I just want to do something.
I don't fuck with baking, so
I love
Paul doesn't either. To you.
Paul hates baking. He's such a good cook, and he says he doesn't like baking because baking is very precise. Like you have to have the right amount of each ingredient. He's like, when I cook, I just like toss this shit in, toss this shit in, toss this shit in, taste it. If it's too salty, I add this. If it's too bitter, I add this. If it doesn't taste good, I dump it out and start over. Like, it's fine. He's like, I can always make something that doesn't taste great in the process a good final project. But when you're baking, if you fuck up, you can't fix it mid-bake.
Yeah, that's like if your butter is like 55 degrees and it needs to be like 57.2, you're fucked. Just give up.
I keep
just give up.
You know.
Just like Hocus Pocus, it's trash.
Just give up.
Oh my gosh.
Toss that shit out.
Did you guys notice any hidden Mickeys or treasures?
They had the devil from the first movie, The Devil and the Lady.
Yeah.
They did flash to them at one point.
On the TV and in person. Like, not dead, but
when
like
she
costumes.
peeks in the house and they're watching a movie, they're watching Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And then also in that same crowd, you see the same costume that the mom and the dad were wearing from when they were at there. And then the witch, the first witch from the beginning, the really pretty tall, here you can have my book given witch. She has in the center of her dress, it's like a sun or whatever. Yeah, it was the sun.
Yeah, it's like a sun
in
with
the
like
middle.
an eye.
Yes.
Like
that is the same sun with the eye that Danny had on her overalls when she was little.
Yes. But that theory, okay, this is my problem with that theory.
Say it.
The timelines don't connect. So either this is like that
parallel
Halloween
universes.
Like this Halloween movie is like way in the future from this movie, or parallel universes or something, because the timeline doesn't connect.
Sarah, does that sound like a underdeveloped plot to you?
Yeah, it is. It fucking is. Now we're up to 8,452 underdeveloped plots.
Can we talk about how they did Sarah Jessica Parker so bad?
They did. Her eyebrows, like...
No cleavage.
And they didn't even... Yeah, no cleave.
They changed, like, boobs for brows, but I needed less brow and more boobs. Like, I'm confused.
They fucked her up. Like, I don't know who hated her, but they said, go. Use that eyebrow pencil to the max. It was a stud by the time they were done.
Bad. Like, I was like, ew. Like, they couldn't have meant to do this. Like, they got the wrong angle, but then it was like the whole movie. And so I was like, well, shit.
I think it's that time, guys, because, like, I really want to permanently delete this movie. And so... Does this go in the Disney Moms Gone Wrong Hall of Fame? I'm going to answer first because it ain't going to be a surprise. No. This movie should have never existed.
How can it go in if it's canceled?
Oh.
That's also
it got deleted. You know how they said, like, Toy Story 2 got deleted, but it was on somebody's computer? Whatever that was.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, like the original script for Toy Story 2 or one of the Toy Stories. It may not have been the second one, but
probably the trashy number
deleted. 4. Yeah, no, oh yeah, 4's trash. 2's alright. What? Another movie.
Anyways,
but it got deleted, and because some chick actually saved it on her computer, and she was on maternity leave, her computer didn't update, didn't get touched, whatever it was back in the beginning of computers. She had the script.
We were there.
And that's how, she came through.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big no for me. It's a no for me, dog.
I agree too. Though I do like how there were certain areas of the movie that was good in the sense of the acting. The storyline was kind of iffy, especially with Gilbert.
Which one?
I did not like how they used Gilbert as the scapegoat to kind of like connect both movies. That was just very weird.
I didn't like how they made Gilbert a chomo.
It was just kind of weird. I love seeing the Sanderson sisters, though.
Okay, Hocus Pocus 3. Hear me the fuck out. Hocus Pocus 3. We are the Sanderson sisters.
Boom.
Done.
I think we could do it.
I think we could do it.
And it's going to be a spooky ass one too. There will be blood.
Susan, you're going to have to put on your big girl pants for that one, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my Depends. Hold on. I think I still have them from like postpartum.
How come the movie started with 3 witches, but 3 minutes in, there's only 2?
She's that scene at Walgreens getting her Depends. That's how we're still gonna plug Walgreens into that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But this time I'll use the drive-through pharmacy.
Yeah.
Touche. Oh my god.
I think about how this movie was definitely for an older crowd, right? And when I say older crowd, I mean like teens, maybe tweens, and obviously like adults. Marco could not care about this movie. Now there are some Disney movies that are Halloween and Marco will watch. Like when we were looking into doing Frankenweenie, he actually was watching that with me, and I think it was because it was very cartoony. But because this is more of like humans, right? Like people actually acting in the movie, he just didn't really care for it. I love how they gave the book its own kind of personality and character. I loved it. He cried. Did he cry or sweat?
He cried.
He sweat.
Let me rephrase that. I don't hate that they gave him a character, but the fact that they just had a ton of the books, I felt like it made the book very unimportant. And in the first movie, the book was so important. And so I felt like they took away the seriousness of the book by making an array of books that we just sell now, and then...
That's the original.
Yeah.
Nah, just trash.
I don't think this movie is going to stay like hip or relevant anytime soon. I think it'll maybe come up on the Disney Plus, like you should watch kind of thing. but
Hot
I don't
take.
think
It'll be Halloween Town 2. I love Halloween Town. I've watched Halloween Town 2 once. Twice.
Oh.
But
I've watched them.
Halloween Town, that movie's great. The sequel, I don't know that I watched it. So I feel like that's what it's going to be. It's going to just be that movie where you sometimes watch a sequel, and it's going to be Fuller House. You watch it because it's the sequel of such an amazing movie, but that'll be the only reason.
Yeah. Oh.
Trash.
And if you guys say you're watching it because it's your new favorite movie and you're listening right now, you're fucking lying.
Yeah. And maybe this isn't the podcast for you.
Oh, no.
Unless
Yep.
you
I'll
unless
say
you
it.
like Toxicity, then come on back.
Yeah.
We'll tell you that your opinions suck again next week.
Yep. All right, Miss Diana, what's on the docket for next recording?
Listen, y'all, we are keeping the shit spooky. And
Spookadook.
yeah, we are.
That sounded wrong.
That sounded like a poop.
Yeah, it did. But sometimes you do take a spooky poop.
I'm just saying.
I know.
My kids have
there's been
taken
a couple.
plenty.
Yeah, there's been a couple times I spooked myself.
All right, you guys. Well, we're keeping it spooky, and we are going to watch The Haunted Mansion. Now, there's the Eddie Murphy and there's the Muppets, and I will be watching both, but we will be focusing on the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion for this next recording. And I'm super excited because although it's one of my favorite Disney rides, I haven't watched the movie.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think the last time I watched it, I was like in high school. So to kind of give you a time frame, that was somewhere between 2007 and 2011. Somewhere in between those years, I watched it. So it's been a minute, but I'm excited. I love Eddie Murphy. I love his acting.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I do love him.
Yep.
So I'm excited.
I kind of like him, but we'll talk about that on the next one.
It's really funny and raw.
Raw.
His stand-up.
Oh, stand-up's different. Okay, we're pinning this conversation.
Yeah,
saving it for the next one.
All right, you guys.
Follow us on all the social medias.
At Disney Mom's Gone Wrong.
Yeah, give us reviews. #Save Sarah. #Chesney Energy. I think I'm not getting fired today because I remembered social medias and to review us.
I
on
would
Apple
also like to add
Podcasts.
the #LoveDownRubDown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how I got pregnant. So
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't trust those anymore.
Bet.
All right, guys.